In the past year, my 750 Intro to Sociology students have saved over $100,000 by using my OpenStax textbook.
I've been able to save my students over $10,000.
Over $8,000.
$18,000 for the entire class.
That is saving a lot of money for them.
From X dollars amount to free for 3,500 students.
About $115,000.
I saved them approximately $5,000.
For 2 semesters, I've saved my students $8,000.
120 students, each saving about $85.
$35,000.
One of the main benefits of OpenStax is that it's free.
You can't argue with the price.
They get a textbook, a good textbook for free.
It's accessible to everyone.
It's user-friendly. It helps them understand the material. It's concise, to the point. It is not a difficult read.
It's interactive.
You can actually customize your book.
They're able to see it on their iPad, their iPhone, and their computer at any time of day.
And thus, it's very portable.
My classroom has become paperless, which has saved my back.
It made a big difference in their performance on tests.
I've been able to make science fun for people who hate science.
As solid as any book that we have ever paid for.
Can I really reuse these materials, copy them, and give them to my class? And of course, the answer is always yes.
I publish material that is accessible to blind and visually impaired students.
They can basically create their own book based on the topics from the major.
I can tailor it to my classroom.
That's a good feature.
As our students have changed in their learning process, we need to change in our teaching technique.
It's like having a partnership that you never thought you could have.
The biggest benefit is that students actually read it.
It is just such a brilliant resource.
I like this book very much.
I recommend OpenStax. Use it. It's great.
In just 2 years, OpenStax has saved students all over the world more than $30 million on high-quality textbooks and other educational resources.
Thank you, OpenStax.
Thank you for that.
Thank you very much.
How much will your students save with OpenStax College? It's up to you. Adopt, adapt, and recommend OpenStax College today. Your students will thank you.
I'm Peggy Brickman. I'm a professor of plant biology at the University of Georgia. I teach introductory biology for general education requirements. I would say most of the students are on some form of financial aid.
Well, last year in all I spent around $700.
For each class, textbooks range from $60 to $100.
Right now I have 3 students who have been dropped from all their classes because their financial aid checks didn't come in. So there's a lot of, I think, financial issues that people are really struggling with. I heard about the OpenStax book because I was developing an online course for the first time, and I wanted to make sure everything was accessible and hopefully free online because they were paying extra for taking the course online. And one of the textbook companies was partnering with OpenStax, and so they sent me a link and I looked at it and I thought, this is too good to be true in a way. I couldn't quite figure it out when I first did it, you know, whether I was supposed to pay or the students were going to have to pay, or so I emailed the company and they sent me the nicest email back and set me up everything, and have been great responding ever since.
I like it. It's convenient. You don't have to like lug around a book all the time whenever you want to study, and it's all on your computer. So like looking up the pages, it's as easy as typing in a number.
Because I have so many students, I have students with disabilities. So I have deaf students and blind students and students who really need to have the material accessible in lots of different formats.
I like it just because like I like to type my notes a lot, and so it makes it easier to type to me because it's just swapping from one tab to the other.
With the OpenStax, I can put links up to several different places, so it's really much more seamless.
I definitely could say that I learned better with this book just because it's easier to comprehend.
It's made us be able to do a lot more interactive kind of online activities, and those are very different from tests. I think it's been great because for a general education course, you want students to be able to be writing about science and communicating their understanding rather than just taking tests. I haven't seen any decline in anything, so it hasn't hurt one bit. So I think that sort of speaks for itself.
I was really excited for having a free book because I really was trying to like eliminate my costs. Like if I can avoid paying for a book, that's what I try to do, because we have so much to pay for, like rent, food. So if you can lessen the load by making a book free, that helps.
I know as a parent, you know, how much it costs, and I know that the students that I have are strapped for cash. So it's really nice that it is completely free and available to them, and they can access it as many times as they want, wherever they want. We have great students here. They're trying really hard and they want to learn, and so I just think it's a great opportunity for them. I would just say go and try it out. I mean, I see people all the time in the parking lot, and you know, I say, have you looked at it? You just kind of see it, and they're like, I didn't donate any money. You know, is it okay if I can send? I'm like, yeah, you just can look at it. They're like, but really? Is it really free? So I would say just go check it out. I would also say when you look at it and look at it compared to any other textbook. You're going to find things that you like, and you're going to find things that are missing, but it's going to be the same for any textbook that you look at. And so take a peek at it from your student's perspective rather than necessarily from yours, and see if it'll work for you.
Hello, my name is Eric Christensen. I teach physics at South Florida State College, which is in the south central part of Florida. Our average student in my classes typically has 1 to 2 part-time jobs. Some of them are directly out of high school, but many are working or have worked, and now they're coming back for education. Well, it started a few years ago. A student came to me and said, I'd really like to take your class, but I can't afford the course and the textbook. Can you help me out? Can you give me an old version of the textbook that you're using? I'll just manage through. So I helped him out. I gave him what I had, but I said, I can fix this problem. And so I thought about it and I learned. I actually went to an NSF-sponsored workshop. I found out about it. I didn't even know anything about open educational resources, but I found out about them, so I started using them. And I jumped in with both feet, and I've never looked back. So many of the examples and the problems in the chapter are life science related. About 95% of my students are biology majors or going into some aspect of healthcare. And when they can see the physics course is related or complements what their major and their profession, they get more excited, they get more interested in the course. But one student in particular stands out, And then she came up and thanked me at the end of the course. She was able to graduate a semester earlier than she had planned because she didn't have to worry about the textbook cost in my course. So that extra money, she took an extra course that term, and she finished up in the fall instead of having to go to the spring because she just needed one more course. And I made that happen because I chose this book. My scores have jumped 30% from what they traditionally were before, which that's huge. I mean, it's statistically significant, but it really shows that they're getting something. So I attribute it, I can't say it's totally to the textbook, but a lot of it is because they're seeing it, they're understanding it. So my students are more successful. If you're hesitant, which I can certainly understand, I would be too, go look at it. You can download it for free, you can view it for free, no charge there. But I'd encourage you either to just use some of the pictures. You know, they're free to use. You can just stick those into your PowerPoints, your presentations. Use the end of the chapter problems as extra problems for the student. Or be like me, just jump in with both feet. And I've never looked back, and I've been happy ever since.